Hello, ladies and gentlemen of District 31 in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm Dan DiNardo. I'm a member of the Alaskan Independence Party, and I'm standing for election to District 31 seat in the House of Representatives in the state of Alaska. I'd like to talk tonight briefly in this presentation on YouTube about the massive financial changes that are occurring in the world, in this country, in Alaska, and in your own personal life. Everything that you see occurring was planned over 20 years ago. There is nothing that happens in the controlled financial world, and it's controlled by the Communist International. All capitalism is communism. Karl Marx was very emphatic about that. The Soviets have always been the world's master capitalist. There isn't a communist country in the world that didn't have an exact same banking system that you remember as being a mainstay in the so-called United States economy. Federal Reserve chairmen are all over the world. Every month they go to Basel, Switzerland, and they have their meetings where they take their walking orders from the Bank of International Settlements. The Bank of International Settlements was established before World War II by three international bankers, one of which was Hjalmar Schacht, who later became Hitler's Reichsbank minister. That is the most powerful organization today. It is the central bank for all central banks. It sets the walking orders. It tells them how they're going to control their debtor-creditor system in their individual country, how globalism is going to expand, and what criminal practices they're going to allow. Take a look at the criminal practices of all these, the Lehman Brothers, the Merrill Lynches, the Goldman Sachs, the Morgan Stanleys, all of these outfits that you have stored away your savings for that rainy day and that retirement. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? You have been hoodwinked. You have voluntarily and willfully participated in this communist capitalistic conspiracy, and you know what it's going to do? It's going to rape you of all of your property interests like it has already. You are going to give in, just like you did in 9/11 when they came on with all this draconian, unconstitutional, global criminalism that they called the Patriot Act, to cover up their manipulative plan, their bombing of those buildings, their destruction of the foundation stones of America, their murder of President Kennedy, and their murder of many other great leaders that this country has had, all in the interest of making sure that they maintain military, financial, and economic control of this country for their one world government. That in the one world government is definitely and is specifically stated in the book of Revelation, in Holy Writ, as the government of the beast and the Antichrist. And here all of you go to your corporate churches. Again, corporations are communistic. Your churches, they espouse the word of the Trinity, but how can you serve two masters by being a member of a corporation? How can, does Lucifer go out and proselytize in the name of Christ? Absolutely not. You can't serve two masters. You can't have that contradiction of terms. But you want to live your life on the materialistic edge where now it's being destroyed and taken away from you. And isn't that how Lucifer always works? You go along, you side up with him, and you go along through your life perpetrating one fraud and misdeed after another. Well, one day you leave this earth and you will be judged. And why do attorneys call themselves a devil's advocate? Because they are, in fact, the sons and daughters of Lucifer. It's spelled out in John and Matthew in the New Testament very emphatically. But you allow them to run your world. Well, when you die, there's going to be somebody there bidding for the control of your soul for eternity, and that's Lucifer himself, and that's why attorneys call themselves the devil's advocate, because that's what they advocate. All of this so-called economic system, this system of perpetual debtor-creditor slavery, is their mainstay, and the hitmen for the system are the attorneys. They do the work of the dirty bankers, the money changers in the temple. Holy Writ is the alpha and the omega of the law. All of the lessons of mankind are set down very emphatically. All the solutions to these problems are set down very emphatically, but you refuse to pay attention to that. You want to ignore those principles so that you can have an easy life, so you can delve in and submerge yourself in the materialistic, one world, the dictatorship of the proletariat set down very emphatically under the Marxist-Leninist dialectic. Well, you're getting what you asked for, and you're getting what you deserve. My solution is an independent Alaska reestablished on the fundamental principles of Holy Writ in the form of a republican form of government. In Holy Writ, in the book of Revelation, the great land of the great eagle is absolutely predicted by the Trinity to become the third and final republic. It is time to take that step. It is time to ignore the Sarah Palins, the Communist Republican Party, the Communist Democratic Party, the Communist Libertarian Party, and the National Socialist Green Party. Forget these corporate parties. Start making decisions on an individual basis and take back your freedoms, because that is your God-given responsibility, and now's the time to exercise that right and that authority. Thank you very much. Make sure you listen, because I'm going to follow this up immediately with a more detailed analysis of the financial system and what you can do to protect yourself.